Brought to you by Penguin.
Air by John Boyne. Read by Colin Morgan. Chapter 1. In an ideal world, I would be spending my 40th birthday in a bar overlooking Bondi Beach, a beer in my left hand, a woman I love by my right, while friends tease me about my receding hairline. Instead, I'm standing near Gate 10 in Sydney Airport, preparing for 20 hours in the air with only a recalcitrant teenage boy for company. But who among us lives in an ideal world? Granted, it's early in the morning, but I'm disproportionately irritated when I emerge from the gents to find that Emmett is not seated where I left him, his bright yellow backpack abandoned on a chair next to my own. I look around, my gaze darting between sleepy-eyed passengers, cleaning staff, and airline crew, all making their way through the concourse. It's not the first time I've lost my son. When he was 5, I let go of his hand for a moment in David Jones on Castlereagh Street, and it was almost 30 minutes before I found him again, sitting in a corner of kitchenware, with the patience of an obedient puppy, his cheeks streaked with tears but hopeful that his master will return for him sooner or later. Most parents are at their most protective when their children are infants, but I'm the opposite, having become increasingly vigilant since he turned 14 a few months ago. I can't help myself. I know the dangers out there for boys his age. A woman stops before me, probably noticing the uneasy expression on my face. "Are you all right?" she asks. "It's my son," I tell her. "I told him to wait for me, but I thought it was something like that. Look, I'm not on duty, I'm catching a flight, but I'm a police officer and can help if you like. When did you last see him?" "Just a few minutes ago. I went to the bathroom and—" "How old is he?" When I tell her, she studies me with a mixture of incredulity and pity. "Oh, for Christ's sake," she says. "I thought you meant a toddler. He'd be around here somewhere. You can't lose teenagers as much as we might want to sometimes." A moment later, he appears from behind me. He must have followed me into the bathroom and used one of the cubicles. "What?" he asks when I glare at him. "This is him?" the woman asks, and I nod. "Yes." "Then I'll leave you to it," she says, walking away. "I didn't know where you were," I tell him when she's out of earshot. "I needed to go," he says slowly, as if speaking to someone of limited intelligence, a tone he's increasingly adopted with me in recent times. "I asked you to wait with the bags." He rolls his eyes. If this gesture was ever to become an Olympic sport, he'd be Australia's #1 hope. "Can I get some chocolate?" he asks. "I didn't have any breakfast." "You said you weren't hungry." "Because you got me out of bed at 3 in the morning. Of course I wasn't hungry." I made sure we had everything packed by yesterday afternoon, so there would be nothing for either of us to do but take quick showers when our alarms went off, but the taxi still picked us up from North Bondi at 3:30. Neither of us uttered a word on the way to the airport. Emmett wearing completely superfluous sunglasses along with the AirPods that have become my mortal enemy. But it's important not to get the day off to a bad start. We're going to be in each other's company for an extended period, and if we're going to survive this trip without killing each other, then it's down to me as the adult to adapt to my son's mood swings. "An apple might be better," I suggest, knowing exactly how this will be received. "Or maybe we could find some ham and cheese croissants." "No, chocolate. I need some for the plane too." "Fine," I say, leading him towards a relay where he loses himself before a wall of processed sugar. He's always had a sweet tooth, but never seems to put a pound on. If I ate half the trash that he does...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?